Hey everybody, welcome to Harmon Garage. I'm Aaron. We're on day 2 of our video every day this week. And first thing I'm going to do this morning is not the normal stuff that I do, but I'm going to take you guys outside real quick. The other night, Christmas Eve, I had to come over to the shop to pick up Christmas presents. I was hiding over here from my kids. And this is the outside of my shop, and there's a street light way down there past that building pretty much, and then there's another one somewhere over there on that corner. I can't even see it, but my whole parking area coming up to the front door here is really dark. Like if I had to position the truck to where I could shine the headlights on the door just so I could use the key to open the locks. So I went and ordered some solar powered motion sensor lights, and so I'm going to hang these up outside the door and see what happens. It's got to be better than nothing. I came in this morning and checked on our seat frame, and this one seems dry, and this one still feels a little bit sticky in some spots. I don't know if it's actually still a little wet or if it's just the humidity. It's raining here today, it's real humid. But I'm gonna let those sit a little while and cure a little more before I flip them over, because I don't want to flip them over and have the paint stick to the cardboard and then you know, have to repaint it. So I'm gonna let those sit a little bit more, but first thing this morning, I'm going to hang those lights up. So we'll get going with that, and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so it was just a quick little project I needed to get done, so I went ahead and knocked it out first thing this morning. Got them up there. They're motion lights, but I guess they don't work with the lights on, so we'll see how they do this afternoon when it's dark when I'm leaving. Next thing we're gonna do today, let's switch pace a little bit and take a little break from longstep, at least this morning. And I mentioned this truck in another video. We're cleaning it up and putting a motor and whatnot in it. So first thing I'm gonna do this morning is start taking off all these broken. I'm going to take the charcoal canister out. I'm going to take all these broken reservoirs out. It's not going to have AC for right now, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the condenser, the dryer, take all the AC lines and all that stuff out, and then I'm going to take the vacuum cans off from over there and that one, get all the wiring up out of the way, stuff like that, so I can start cleaning it up to paint it. It's going to be a project in itself, not too bad, but I want to go ahead and get it cleaned up and get some paint shot in there, because then I can let it sit and cure for a few days. So I'm going to get set up and we're going to start getting that one ready to go. Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff torn off of this. Definitely not done with the stripping process yet, but just giving you guys an update. I got the grill and the headlight doors off. I'm going to be pulling the horns and the headlights out because I'm going to clean up and paint the front of the firewall. And I might restore the grill depending on how I feel. But I got battery tray, radiator overflow, condenser, lower fan shroud, charcoal canister. I took the hood hinges off. Obviously those will go back on, but I want to go ahead and paint behind them and clean them up and paint them too. The vacuum canisters are off. All the AC stuff's off. Heater hoses are out. Next thing I'm going to do is pull the wiring harness down here at the bulkhead connector and unplug everything, the lights and all that are still plugged in, and take the junction block off the firewall and all that. And I'm going to pull that whole engine harness, front clip harness out. As you can see, the wiring's in pretty bad shape. And I know these harnesses and the wiring on these trucks pretty good because I've been into a lot of them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and unplug everything, take that bulkhead connector out and take the harness out, and then I can lay it on the floor, go through it, and if there's wires that are bare or bad or brittle or anything like that, I can go ahead and fix or replace them or whatever I need to do. So next thing I'm gonna do is remove that and everything that goes with it, and then we'll take a step back and see what I'm gonna do next. Okay, I pretty much got it all stripped down as far as it needs to go. I'm gonna get back in here. I'm getting ready to go to lunch, but I'm gonna get back in here afterwards and clean it up again real good with the shop vac. And then I'll get some Scotch-Brite and Scotch-Brite everything and see if I need to vacuum it or wipe it down some more, and then we'll start taping it off so we can paint it. Here's what used to be a wiring harness. I'm betting that one day it hooked up the stuff and did something, but kind of not at that point anymore. So I'm gonna go through that and basically rebuild it. But we're making some progress. So when I get back from lunch, I'm gonna flip the seat frames for longstep over and get a coat of paint on the back side of those, and then they can sit and dry again, and I'll keep working on, I'm gonna call that truck Dirty. That's gonna be its nickname for obvious reasons, and I name everything. So I'll get back on Dirty after lunch and keep you updated. Okay, I'm back from lunch. Belly's full, feel like taking a nap, but gotta keep pushing. These didn't feel sticky at all anymore, so I got them turned over so I can go ahead and throw a coat of paint on this side. The other side that I painted yesterday covered really well. I don't think there's any need for a second coat, and it all laid on pretty smooth. So I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a second coat on this, and then maybe we'll get around to getting a little bit more done on old Project Dirty over there. Okay, well, I thought I painted the hard side yesterday, and today I found out that I was wrong. This side was definitely a little bit more time consuming because of the spring layout on the bottom frame. I had to get down in all the spots underneath and behind the springs, and it kind of sucked, but we got it done. Got a good heavy coat of paint on both sides of the seat frame. So now we'll let it sit at least until tomorrow, if not Thursday, so that paint can cure real good. We're about to have a heck of a thunderstorm here, so that's gonna raise the humidity, so we'll see how the paint cures. But that part's done, and we're gonna move back on old Project Dirty over there, and I'm gonna get the shop vac out and clean up a bunch of the stuff we didn't get last time because it was covered by stuff, and some stuff that some more stuff that I found and made, taking off what I took off. So I'll get that all cleaned up, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and scuff it with a Scotch-Brite pad, and then I will bring you guys back and show you where we're at. Okay, I've been hammering away on this. I got it all cleaned up, scuffed up with Scotch-Brite, and then I wiped it down with some Prepsol to get the excess dust and stuff off. So next step's gonna be tape off everything I don't want paint on. So I'm gonna get some paint out and we'll get the tape, or paint. Tape it off. We'll get some tape, we'll tape it off. Okay, so as you saw in the time lapse, I got everything taped off. I didn't do a ton of coverage with the tape because I consider myself an extremely experienced spray painter. So I aim pretty good and not worried about getting overspray on a bunch of stuff. And if I do, well, then I guess I gotta clean it off. So I took the easy way out to get here, and I'll probably get the hard end of the stick afterwards. But anyways, she's all taped off, should be enough. And spray a coat of paint in there. I'm not doing the frame or suspension. I might do just the front of the frame a little bit, but the rest you won't really see with the motor in. And the suspension is probably gonna get redone on this truck soon. They wanted to start with getting a motor in it, getting it running and driving and stuff like that. And they want to make the truck nice. So I told them, if you're going to do that, we might as well clean up and paint the engine compartment while we have it. So they agreed with me. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to spray rubberized undercoating on the firewall because it works as a heat shield and a sound deadener, as well as a nice coating. So just the firewall is going to get sprayed with rubberized undercoating, and then I'm going to use some Duplicolor low gloss black engine paint to do both sides of the core support, the top of the core support, and the inner fenders and stuff like that. So I actually don't have any rubberized undercoating right now, so I'm going to run down to the parts store down the street real quick and grab a can, and then I'll come back and we'll get some painting done. Okay, so as you saw in the time lapse, we got Old Dirty all painted up. I'm gonna let it sit and cure overnight and see how it looks. A lot of it's dry right now, and it looks pretty even and good coverage. I'll have to come in the morning when it's had more time to cure and see what it looks like and decide if we want to put a second coat on or not. You may ask why I pulled all the tape off if I'm gonna put a second coat on. And the reason I did that is because if there was any bleed over or anything like that where the paint started bleeding under the tape or something like that, then I could catch it right away and clean it up and not have to worry about it tomorrow or the next day when I pulled the tape off. So I always pull it off right away to make sure I got clean lines and whatnot, and then if I end up having to spray another coat on tomorrow, I'll just tape it off again. Tape's cheap and it doesn't take that much to do it. So, but here we have it. Front of the core support's all cleaned up and painted. Top of the core support's the last thing I did, and I put it on thick, so it's really wet still. And then in here it kind of looks spotty, but it's really not. It's just some of it's dry and some of it's not. Some places I might have put it on a little bit thicker than others. But I think it looks pretty good. I think it's covered pretty good. So the undercoating on the firewall looks great. So I'm happy with it. Like I said, we'll wait and see what it looks like in the morning, whether or not we put another coat on. I put it on pretty thick, so I don't think we're gonna have to, but we might. But that's gonna be day 2 of my 5 days of video challenge. So once again, if you watched yesterday's video, I signed up for a Buy Me a Coffee. And Buy Me a Coffee is not for me, it's to donate to charity. So once again, I'll put the link right here, and I'll also put it in the description. And if you're interested in joining me in donating to a charity, then that would be appreciated. If not, I understand, no hard feelings. But that's gonna do it for this video. So y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.